Before we begin, I also just want to throw out and say thank you to our friends at Private Division who provided the key for this. Also, if you want to pick up any of this on Epic, you know my creator code. We're an Epic partner to help support the channel, all that good stuff, and thank you for that. Okay. So, I was thinking about this last night. There are not a lot of games that have had me, I kid you not, racking my brain for what is going on hours after I was done playing. This game has done that. This DLC has done that. I caught myself last night sitting at the dinner table, actually going over all the evidence of this DLC in my head and being like, okay, could it be this guy? Could it be that guy? Like, it's pretty crazy. I gotta say, I think I'm more involved in the main story in this than both the last DLC and the main story. It's an actual kind of cool mystery. Doom says this is called having a problem. Well, you know how it is. Hey, Notorious, how you doing this morning, bud? Is it a well-done murder investigation? It is a well-done murder investigation. So I wanted to do this at the very beginning of the stream today, because I kind of wanted to go over the evidence for people that are following along. So basically we have, and I wanted to kind of redo it in my head as well. So, praise accepted. Oh my God, is that almost done? So here we go. Thank you all so much for the support. By the way, Singer saying Taurus with a 10, Jake from DM with a 10, Cohh with the 5. Cohh, we talked about this. Thank you. Castmaster, it absolutely is, but come on, please, politics, man, you know this. Also, Zero Fox with a 5, One Big Ass Squid, and Tiny Goliath. Thank you all for the support, dudes. Really appreciate all the support today. Thank you, thank you. What is that? What is that? That is the new large tipper notification, and it's basically it is Sophie from Persona 5 Strikers, which we'll be playing more of this weekend, and it's hilarious. Chicken Nuggy, please. Thank you so much for the 5 bomb. So anyway, here we go. Let's talk about this. Halcyon Helen is dead. She was poisoned, but it didn't kill her. She was killed with a plasma weapon. She was killed in the ballroom. Thinking of death, thank you for the 5, dude. I appreciate it. Ash Rifts, thank you for the 5. Appreciate that too. So, we have a bunch of different suspects, but here's what we know for sure. This is what's driving me crazy. We caught a guy in our room trying to go through evidence. He wanted to meet up with us later, and he was killed. There was a bottle where he was killed, and I don't remember exactly what was distinctive about that bottle, but there was something about that. Where Halcyon Helen died, she wrote a B in Spectrum Brown. We also know that Birdie, Black Hole Birdie, who is a super strong guy and could easily make it through vents, is well known by everybody, is agile, and has a gap in his alibi for the evening that she was murdered. However, we also know that everyone thinks this guy is an idiot. So if he actually is smart enough to pull this off, then that's going to be kind of wild. Another thing that's kind of strange is we trace the footsteps of Halcyon Helen through the orchard. And when we traced Halcyon Helen through the orchard, it led us from the gate to an area where she found a note from B. And then after finding the note from B, she then walked all the way over to an Outlook where she was supposed to be having a picnic with Birdie, apparently broke up with him then. And Birdie was so angry, he smashed a wicker basket there. And then she left. Now, what's even weirder is before Birdie and Halcyon met up here and Halcyon Helen broke up with Birdie, she told him to get a book that is coded, this data pad, and it's filled with incomprehensible words and sentence fragments and seemingly random numbers. Now, he told us this on his own volition, because he himself knew that the person that saw him pick this up did not identify him. So he didn't have to tell us that he had gotten this. But he did. Again, playing into the he's not very smart. But the note that Halcyon Helen picked up was this note right here. Helen, and this is right before she broke up with Birdie. I know I told you I'd stumbled on the scoop of a lifetime, but neither of us could have guessed how deep this would go. Now some slug from the docks is looking for me. Slug from the docks could be the big guy. So this could be the guy that the dude murdered that we found out about yesterday. He casually mentioned he tortured a guy to death. Asking a lot of questions. It's time to get out. Do you hear me? Don't waste time packing. Just go as soon as you read this. You know where to meet me. Tonight, 10 p.m. in the Grand Ballroom. If I don't show, take the next ship out of here and don't look back. From B. So what's super weird here is Halcyon Helen saw this note, then walked over to Birdie, who we think might be B, broke up with him, causing him to go into a rage, then went to the ballroom to meet B and was murdered there. So the only thing I can think of that would make this make sense is that if Helen didn't know who B was and Birdie was playing two different sides, but then why would he use the word B? And he would have to be freaking brilliant to pull that off. So, and he obviously does not come off as brilliant. They've said multiple times that he's in a sport where he gets hit in the head all the time. So now we do have more to figure out. Oh, another little thing is we broke into Birdie's hotel room and we happened to find this, which is a special plasma infused tossball stick. Birdie died to blunt force trauma via plasma to her head. So again, it's like the evidence is pointing to Birdie, but the framing is done super strange, because why would you try to frame a dumb guy as being like a double-crossing brilliant dude, you know? So there's also been a couple red herrings. I'm pretty sure that the prophet was a red herring because she thought she killed Helen during a meditation thing, and she actually dragged her body outside, but then we saw evidence of the body getting up and leaving. So then even weirder, we went back to the prophet, and the prophet was like, arrest me because my opponents are going to use this to blackmail me and I'm better off in prison. You need to arrest me. So she was acting super suspect, but at the same time, super suspect for all the wrong reasons. So yeah, this is the thing. So thankfully, here's what's even crazier. The game tells us now that we can guess the killer. If we wanted to right now, we could guess who the killer is. I don't feel like we have enough information yet. We do have more that we can do. We're going to go talk to the chef right now. And the chef we're talking to, because there's another suspect who is a co-star of Halcyon Helen.
Enjoying your stay.
And Halcyon Helen's co-star was also poisoned. He was poisoned via the blood of a tarot ray. And he claims that bottle came from the room service that he ordered. So yeah. So we need to talk to him, and we also have an entire quest line we haven't explored for the overtly evil guy in the docks area. We're going to be doing that as well. So we can name the murder, which we're not ready to do. We need to go do all this in the docking, the engine area. I think we're going to go do the chef part right now. I don't think this has anything to do with it. I don't think this has anything to do with it, but we'll still do them. Although this pool thing is a little bit odd, but may or may not be related. Where's the tip sound come from? The tip is Sophie from Persona 5 Strikers. We heard that and instantly made it our tip sound because it's adorable. Yeah, normally it doesn't play 35 times back to back. Jacoby Fantasy said, you said to and through, but to be fair, your logo always had 3 gears. So if you and Lena are the wings, the logo is now complete. Congrats to you and the family. This is amazing news. Jacoby Fantasy, thank you so much for tipping the mods. We really appreciate it. Black Glacier says, sorry I can't do more, but here's a little to the awesome. Hi to Lady N. Mods. Here's to celebrating this awesome dude getting more joy in his life. Cohh Good Vibes, GG, and Hi from the Black Glacier. Thank you for that. Absinthe Fan with a 5. Asterisk with a 5. Chicky Nuggies Please with the 5. And Dingy of Death also with a 5 bomb. Thank you for all the support this morning, dudes. We really do appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, the fact that this is such a good mystery really threw me too, Cohh. The DLC is so much better than the first. I agree, dude. This is one of Obsidian's best DLCs out of all the games I've played. This DLC is just awesome. Yeah. I'm really enjoying this.
Yes? Are you here for the double rack of smoked sprat? Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but you'll have to wait.
Can you repeat everything you just said? No.
Don't give me that look. Let me see if I can pencil you in for later. Actually, what am I saying? I can't do that. I'm booked for the next month. You'll have to make a reservation.
Why are you talking about food? Don't you care about the crime that just occurred?
Crime or no crime, I must keep my head on my work. One does not simply become the head chef in all of Eridanos by fretting over irrelevant happenings.
Thank you, Kismar, Fried PBJ, and Cruisenick68. I really appreciate your support. Thank you, guys.
Praise accepted.
Thank you so much. Oh, you guys are ridiculous. Oh, my Lord. I'm still, yeah. Anyway. It's been a crazy day. Let's see. Okay. I'm here to investigate Halcyon's Helen's murder. I'd also like to ask you a few questions.
You're the inspector? Here? Why? I mean, you may ask me whatever you want. I have nothing to hide.
Okay. Did you prepare all of Helen's meals?
Of course I did. I would never allow anyone else to touch the meals of so important a guest.
Now, we didn't see any, like, weird food in Helen's room. Helen's last meal was poison. I'm surprised you'd admit to that so openly. So you're sure no one else was involved?
Well, yes, I'm positive. Why?
Something about this isn't adding up. Why don't you tell me the truth?
How? Oh, fine. There may have been times I left Helen's meal unsupervised. Spencer Woolrich and Bellhop Owens were underfoot in the kitchen as I was preparing Helen's meal. Either one of them could have tampered with the food when I was fetching ingredients.
Praise accepted.
Why are you being so evasive about leaving Helen's food unattended?
Well, it's a breach of professionalism, of course. Why else would I worry about it?
If you tell me the truth, I might be more inclined to believe the rest of what you say.
Well, I suppose that's as good a point
Persuade
as
100?
any I've heard. I may have taken some time to engage in a teensy bit of recreational drinking, and consequently, I may have been somewhat less than coherent after preparing Helen's meal.
Whoa! Whoa! Beef Freytag with the $500 mod tip. Congrats to you and Lena from your Loaded family. Beef Freytag is my manager over at Loaded. That is super cool of you, Brandon. Thank you. Thank you so much, man. Really appreciate that. The biggest noob ever says, that guy who just tipped 500 knows it goes to the mods, right? Yes. And he also knows that all tips to the mods I appreciate just as much as if they go to me. He is fully versed, and it is insanely appreciated. So yeah, that's super cool. Thanks a lot, Brandon. That's pretty biggie, man. I appreciate that. Thank you. Hey, the mods are going to be working a lot as we get close to this kid. They help me carry this channel as I'm doing all my life stuff. So a tip to them is a tip to me. Just saying. The more we support them, the easier things are for me. So it's all good. Alibi is a little thin here. Why should I believe anything that you're saying?
I understand.
This channel's a group effort, guys.
Oh, I just remembered. The kitchen security camera. It'll prove I'm telling the truth about everything. Constable Keene has access to the security footage in her office at the spaceport.
Awesome.
If you visit her, you can figure out what truly happened with Helen's meal.
Now, if this guy knows that, though, we can assume most likely with how prepared and tech savvy we know the murderer is, because remember what they did in the elevator at the research department. Parvati pointed out that they knew what they were doing with those electronics. We can assume that that footage is going to be deleted or removed. Any idea where I might find Bellhop Owens?
Yes, but not specifically. Owens often procures exotic ingredients from the creatures at the Wilderness Exploitation Reserve. Our guests can be rather particular. Let's not talk about the incident with the Raptidon pheromone glands. It's always hard to say when Owens might be back. If I were you, I'd make a trek to the reserve myself. Otherwise, who knows how long you'll have to wait.
Early Arcane, don't jinx it. Bye Bye and Pie says, you need more mods. Nuriel says, no, we don't. Bye Bye and Pie says, if you say so, I disagree. Bye Bye and Pie, just as a quick note, we actually have tools in our channel that make heat maps of coverage based on mods who are here. The Boatman manages all that, and we keep our finger on the pulse of what times need more coverage. So, for the record, not only is the mod team here phenomenal, but they're all doing a great job. If we forever at any point thought we needed more mods, Boatman would be all over it. Boatman is a full-time hire of mine. His job is to run the mods on this channel. That's what he does. So he does a great job doing that, and he has ever since I hired him. So yeah, I appreciate your sentiment, but we're good. We're good. My man got heat maps, homie. That's right. We got straight heat maps, boys. So yeah, we're good. That being said, Bye Buying Pie, if you'd like to send me a message on why you think that we need more mods, I'd be happy to. I always am happy to listen to feedback. If there's something that makes you think that, I feel free to let me know. Yeah, you know how to get in touch with me. My whispers are open and my Discord PMs are open as well. What was Spencer Woolrich doing around the kitchen?
Mr. Woolrich often finds the hotel's meals wanting. He seems to enjoy complaining in person. While I could appreciate someone with a discerning palate for once, I believe that Mr. Woolrich simply enjoys the attention he gets from us. Though don't tell him I said as much. If you wish to speak with him, Mr. Woolrich can most likely be found in his suite on the VIP guest floor. He's usually there if he's not poking around here.
Marine Juke says we need less mods. That's right, we do. So one other interesting thing to think about, by the way, when we came in here the first time, we detected on one of the burners that it had been covered with grease, and that if it had been turned on, it would have exploded. So we can assume that someone might have been trying to kill this chef. So knowing that, the only reason it didn't, by the way, is because the gas light had gone out, which is weird, but okay. So that being said, we can somewhat assume that this guy might be relatively believable because somebody might have been trying to kill him. Yeah. Kazmaster 15, no problem, dude. I appreciate that, man. No problem. And I'm in agreement with you. It's terrible. That's all I wanted to ask about. Guess we'll see if you're telling the truth.
Thank you for your understanding, Inspector. I'm sure you'll find the true
This
culprit
game has gone all
before
point
long.
and click mystery adventure. Dude, they did a great job crafting this. Yeah, I've really been enjoying this DLC. It is easily the best so far of Outer Worlds, and arguably so far it's been one of the best DLCs Obsidian has made. This DLC gets me very excited about what we're going to see in Avowed. If they're going to be delivering quality stuff like this in Avowed, like if this is their last kind of project like this before Avowed, that is a good sign. That is a good sign. Retrieve the security kitchen footage and speak with Bellhop Owen. I will be surprised if Bellhop Owen is not dead. Let's go take a look. Nearly 2 years. Congrats on number 3, Cohh. Wish you guys all the best from Uncle X. Thank you, buddy. Okay, let's take a look at our map. It's so weird that this map loads so slowly. I don't think that happened in the base game. Very strange. Okay, so this is going to be the security footage. And, oh no, he's not even in the wilderness area. Did he get killed? This is that little area with the tarot rays. Let's go check that out real quick.
Have you seen the prophet of profitability?
That's not good. Thanks, Sagamina. Thank you, Lupus Cardinal. I appreciate it. What type of art style is Avowed? We've only seen very little of it, but it looks to be Outer World style fantasy. So it looks, the graphics are similar to Outer Worlds, but of course fantasy instead of sci-fi. There's a very, very brief snapshot of the gameplay that you can see in the announcement trailer. We're not even sure if it's gameplay. It's very, very small.
That one's done for.
I see a nail.
Here's a little trick I learned in prison.
Praise accepted.
Rinks with a 5 bomb. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it, buddy. And there's the dead guy. Of course. Bellhop Owens invoice. Lists of guest special requests, some drinks, some food items, and tellingly a recently fulfilled quest for a fresh Taro Ray bile gland from one Spencer Woolrich. JD Jester,
Praise accepted.
thank you for the 5 bomb. So we know two things important here. We know that when we scanned the drink in Woolrich's room, that it had Taro Ray parts on it, which would indicate that that's what poisoned him. And then we also know that when we told him that, he acted surprised. Why would they leave the evidence on the corpse? Well, I don't think a person killed him. I think the Taro Rays killed him. I think he was out there trying to get more Taro Ray stuff for him, and the Taro Rays killed him. Yeah. Does this feel like New Vegas? In some ways, it does. Mm-hmm. In some ways, it does. I really like this game's skill system. There's a lot of things I really like about Outer Worlds, and there's also things that I'm not fond of in Outer Worlds. How's the writing compared to New Vegas? The writing in this DLC is fantastic. The writing in the base game, I would say, is like hard average to above average, but it's certainly not you need to play this. The whole thing about this game, and the word we keep coming back to,
Watch out, Captain.
is that the base game felt kind of safe. I mean, this was kind of Obsidian's big first in-house first-person adventure game. So, the base game felt very kind of like we're just kind of finding our sea legs, so to speak, in terms of making this type of game. The good news is the world was really fun. The world development was really fun. If you liked the humor, it was pretty much on point. Most importantly, it was nearly bug-free when I played it. All the quests kind of worked. So that was awesome. They've kind of proven they can make a game like this and make it well. What we're hoping with Avowed is that now that they've known that, now they can make a really epic story. Now they can make like a PoE 1 style story. Like that's the hope. And also, most importantly, is I think I speak for a lot of us when I say that we're hoping in Avowed we see much deeper and more fundamentally rich character customization and development options. Oh, Yoku, that's a tough one. I'm not going to read that one out loud. That's a tough one. But yeah, the thing about this game is that it's more of like an action RPG, a first-person action RPG with less of an emphasis on the RPG. And I'm hoping Avowed is going to be like an actual RPG. You know what I mean? Like multiple different builds, multiple different play styles. Like you can kind of do melee in this game, or a gun type, or if you kind of stretch it, a science weapon. But they all kind of feel the same. There's not really like a huge amount of variance. I do really like the skill system in the game. The skill system in this game is super cool, and I hope they very much keep like this stuff is cool. This stuff is really cool. Having like actual number skills with perks that go up as you like, this stuff is badass, and I'm really hoping we see something this deep in Avowed. In fact, this is arguably deeper than Fallout. With the perks and everything, and the way that it works in groups, like this system is arguably deeper than Fallout, which is great. So I'm hoping that they either keep this or develop it even more for Avowed. But the perks system, this part is a little wanting. It's a little one-dimensional. There's not really like any type of specialization or anything like that. And I think that it would be really cool if they kind of like really grow that kind of stuff out.
Greetings, non-criminally associated individual. The Rizzo's constabulary is currently not closed due to a sprat infestation. Bureaucratic processes are currently suspended. At present, criminal reports do not require paperwork. Please lament only in marked lamentation zones. Please speak clearly into this unit's recording instruments.
Yeah, I agree, Proxy Warcana. I really like the flaws system. Unfortunately, I feel like it's very diminutive. The flaws system is super cool, but you almost never see it. If they do a system like that in Avowed, I hope it's much more prominent, like something that happens more often and influences your character more. I love that system. I never see it. I need to acquire the Grand Colonial Kitchen security footage from your archive. Hey, Pestory. And also Ancient Geezer with the 60 months. Been watching since Mass Effect. Thanks for showing me several genres of games that I would never have tried myself. Awesome. Oh yeah, the armor and the weapons in this game are probably one of the worst parts. I think that was more of a resources thing though. But that's one thing that really, really bugged me about Outer Worlds. The fact that there's like the same weapons and you get like a 2.0 and an Ultra, and then the armors all look nearly the same. Like, yeah, I agreed. Why do you seem so optimistic that Avowed will meet your expectations? Oh, I'm not hyped for Avowed. I'm hopeful for Avowed. We talked about this yesterday. It's very different. I hope Avowed is going to be awesome, and I hope it's going to be great. But I'm not hyped for it. I'm not saying it's going to be awesome. I'm hopeful that it'll be awesome. Yeah, it's a very different thing. Let's see. I need to acquire the Grand Colonial Kitchen security footage from your archive.
All requests for security footage require a nominal compulsory bribe. Is that acceptable?
Here you... Oh, wait. Hold still. I need to examine your bit processing unit real quick.
Error. Bit processing unit has been removed, temporarily surpassing bit fee request. Funds will be requested from Rizzo's leadership with interest at a later date. Delivering footage. Thank you for your patronage. If you would like a wine recommendation to pair with that footage, please submit the requisite request forms. Is there any other assistance this unit may provide?
Your designation is Deputy Wine Taster. What are you doing in the constabulary?
Error. Unit designation no longer Wine Taster. Unit designation now Deputy.
Do your wine testing instruments double as weapons or something?
While potential lethality of unit instrumentation bears towards 95% violent utilization of equipment, would void unit warranty. All Rizzo's constabularies must include at least one
Thanks,
deputy constable among the pool of available Rizzo's employee candidates. This unit was considered the most competent.
Okay. Used to be a wine tasting mechanical. What's your favorite wine?
Unit does not have a favorite wine. Unit is incapable of taste.
Okay.
How may this unit be of
Did you say something about a sprat infestation?
checking logs? Error. Informational limitations found. 2. Reciting
Kit Kat, thank you so much for that.
1. Do not tell users about constabulary sprat infestation.
You don't need to pay the health inspector bribes a third time.
Two,
Oh my god, this guy talks so slow.
do not read informational limitations aloud, especially not to any of those void-damned snot-nosed guests, or I'll have you sold for parts.
Okay. Security footage from the Grand Colonial's kitchen at the time of Helen's last meal prep by Chef Anwar shows the chef working on the dish, and Spencer Woolrich and Bellhop Owens enter. Owens hands something to Spencer, then leaves. Spencer then appears to say things to the chef, who turns away and walks off screen. Spencer quickly empties something onto Helen's food and exits. There it is. He tried to poison Helen. My Bliss, good to see you, buddy. Third time's a charm. They say have a good one. Thank you, buddy. Quick reminder, if you'd like me to read out your sub or anything like that, I'm happy to do it. Just make sure to @ one of the mods you see in chat, and they'll relay that to me. Just a quick heads up, and thank you.